Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Next one. For the next problem, I will just give you a minor modification. This 1000 psi A, you just convert it into 6.895 megapascal. There is a relation that 1 psi, I can show it, but I won't do it now. 1 psi is equal to 6.894 kPa. So simply convert this. I have just copied it from the textbook. Please do not forget, this is all 100-year-old stuff. So those were the days of this FPS system, and therefore you still have those numbers. I just copied it from the textbook, but you just solve it considering it's 6.895 megapascal. That's all. So that you can use our version of the steam table. So what should we do? It says in a closed vessel contains steam at 6. 895 megapascal, and its vapor to liquid volume ratio is 4:1. This is important. Vapor to liquid volume ratio, right? So I'll give a clue, or not a clue, how we get started. So there is an assumption. Assumption is, let the vessel volume equal to 1 meter cube. Therefore, vapor volume is 0.8 meter cube. Liquid volume 0.2 meter cube. What has been told to find out the steam quality? What is the request? On steam table. Okay, I'll do that. That's the reason it's very difficult actually to get everything on screen. Okay, but I will do that. I'll do it with this problem. Okay, but then I don't see the problem. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, acha, coming to it. So this is clear to all. In a short screen, I cannot show everything together. That's indeed a problem. And there are other things might be open in my computer which I may not want to share. That also you have to understand. Okay, so this part is clear. So what we have? But with my screen and with my condition of my eyes, I will not be able to read anything if I split screen and all that. Thank you very much for the advice, Rishi, but it won't work. You have to understand that you have been taught by a person who is roughly 2.5 times your age. So kindly consider that. Sort of a younger grandfather in the family. That's my age now. Okay. So come back to business. Okay. So what should we do? What data should we look into? What data should we look into? 6.895 megapascal, right? Steam table is right in front of your eyes. So which data should we use? And for simplification or simplicity, for the time being, I am telling the class that this is 7 megapascal. So what data should we look into now? And why? So my take is we go to the pressure table. Pressure table. So here is 7 megapascal, and we pick up two numbers. 7 megapascal is given. Temperature is not specified. Any comment on the temperature? Else, how do you use the steam table? It will be Tsat. Why? It's a two-phase system. Very good. Remember in mind. So this might be taken for granted in 95% of the class, but this is something you need to understand explicitly. Since it's a two-phase system, Vivek, please stop using the word mixture. That's it, right? So therefore, the temperature is automatically 285.88 degrees centigrade. And what are the data we will pick up? The specific volume of liquid is 0.001315 meter cube per kg, and VV is 0.02737 meter cube per kg. Right? So what next? So from here and here, you can find out mass of liquid. From the other set, here and here, you can find out the mass of vapor. And what is steam quality? Is it clear to all? Remember this, don't confuse. It is not mass of vapor divided by total mass. It is mass of liquid divided by total mass. Microsoft Team की वजह से your steam has become team. I don't know the quality of team, but looking at the connectivity, team quality is quite bad. Steam quality is, it's written, no, steam quality is ml divided by, so mass of liquid divided by, let me check. No, I made a mistake. This is a mistake I made, but thanks for correcting out. This is actually mass of steam or mass of vapor. So quality, so it's mass of vapor divided by mass of liquid plus mass of vapor. So if you have 100% steam, quality is going to be 1. If you have 100% liquid, it's going to be 0. That's it. Mass of vapor divided by mass of liquid plus vapor. Is it clear now? I just made a mistake out here. I keep on making mistakes, and these are mistakes what you should not do. So Sridhar, have you now understood how we are using the data? Next one, please. Anyone has any doubt about steam quality? Steam quality is a parameter that will be 1 for complete vapor, right? It is going to be 0 for a pure liquid. Only if you have a mixture of steam and liquid, water, then you have a value. And the value is mass of the vapor fraction divided by total mass, or essentially mass percent of steam, absolutely. Mass percent of the vapor. Yeah, mass percent of the steam. Yes. Is nothing but, why this nothing but? Of course, that is the mass percent. It's a terminology. It is definitely something. Certainly not nothing but. Clear to all? Next problem, please. We're running out of time. Next problem, what to do? First one is supercooled, very good. No, certainly not. First one is supercooled. 0.1 megapascal. Your saturation temperature is 99.62 degrees centigrade or 100 degrees centigrade, right? Therefore, it is supercooled. So you have HL at from that you can find out the HL of your initial liquid. How? This HL minus that MCP delta T. So you know the specific enthalpy initially, considering subcooling, right? And then the final one, you just have to go to 15 MPa. That's, I think, data is available straight away. It's 15 MPa. Yes, 15 MPa, 800 degrees centigrade data is available. So which is 4092.4. So 15 MPa. Yeah, so if you want to see, somebody requested how I am using the data. So 0.1 megapascal. So here is 0.1 megapascal. 0.1 megapascal pressure. Saturation temperature is 99.62 or 100 degrees centigrade. Feel free to take 100 degrees centigrade, no big deal. And your given initial temperature is 27 degrees centigrade, 300 Kelvin. So there is a degree of super subcooling by 73 degree, right? So you have this data, HL, right? So you have this data HL, specific enthalpy at the liquid state. This at saturation, this is 417.44 is known to you, right? So Sridhar, are you okay with how we picked up this 417.44? So 417.44 minus 73 into 4.2. That is the specific enthalpy of the starting liquid. Is it clear? Is it clear? And then the final one. So temperature will be 527 degrees centigrade, right? 527 degrees centigrade. So for that, you have to go to 15 megapascal table. 15 megapascal table, you have to go. Yeah. So your temperature is 527 degrees centigrade. And you have data for 500 degrees centigrade as well as 550 degrees centigrade. So just the way we talked in the previous class, I guess the whole class can do it. Please do it if you want me to verify. Please find out the H value of H at 550 degrees centigrade, at 527 degrees centigrade. For superheated steam, 15 megapascal H at 500 degrees centigrade is 3308 kilojoule per kg, and this is 3448.6 kilojoule per kg. So you have to find out. Yeah. So how does it go? How do you find it out? 3381 maybe. So I'll write down the formula. 3308 plus 3448.6 minus 3308.5 divided by 50 into 27. Let me do it. 3448.6 minus 3308.5 divided by 50 into 27 plus 3308.5. 3384.154. Absolutely. 3384.154. Rohit, do not do so much truncation. I should also write a 0.5 here. So everybody understands it's 3384.154 kilojoule per kg. And then you have that HL for the subcooled liquid, subtract, multiply with E3, you are done. Okay, next one. This is clear to the whole class? This is now an interesting problem. So let's pick these two up. But most interesting problem is this. I will first pick this one up. This capsules problem. It's in FPS. I will give you the SI data. 9.3.25. I'd like to have the attention of the whole class towards 9.3.25. Right. So what you do for this problem is take down all the numbers in SI. Probably I should have done it before, but sorry about it. So the numbers are, I'm changing it, kindly change it. So it says 1 pound of liquid, make it 0.453 kg of liquid. It's in a capsule at 164.3 degrees centigrade and 690 kPa in a vessel of capacity 0.1255 meter cube. First, all of you are requested to kindly change these numbers. I mean, it doesn't change the mathematics. It's a beautiful problem. So please read it carefully and I will help you in understanding what it is. See, this is what is specified. You have a vessel like this whose volume is given as 0.1255 meter, right? And then what is told is that you have a capsule. So you have a capsule like this, and this is water. Now this water is at 164.3 degrees centigrade and 690 kPa. Okay, this is what is given. So corresponding to this, whatever is the condition or HL, UL, blah blah of water, you can find out from steam table. So let us see how it goes. So we go to, this is one of the finest problems that is there in the textbook and I sort of love showing. So we go to the temperature table straight away. 164 is 165 degrees centigrade. Your saturation pressure is 0.7005 megapascal, right? 0.7005 megapascal or 705 kilopascal. So you can say that it is almost saturated. So let us assume, or let us, so this we find from the steam table is for 165 degree. I will change when I give the problem for text. 165 degree, we see that the saturation pressure is 703 Kelvin, so a kilopascal. So instead of 690 kilopascal, if I just specify that you have 700 kilopascal, so this is saturated water. Now what it says? It says that we break the capsule. We break the capsule. This is an extremely important concept, and once I explain, you will see that it's such a easy problem. We break the capsule. And final temperature is again 165. Any ring. How do we proceed from this point? How do we proceed from this point? There are certain other data that is given, and that one data that is the mass of this water is given. Yes, anybody else? Why many of the usual suspects are completely silent today? Total volume of Ca. What is Ca? Rohit, can you elaborate? Chamber, yes. Total volume of chamber is known, 0.1255 meter cube. Yes, please. Why only 3 people are responding? We can find specific volume. Shalini, how? Sridhar, no. Volume of the liquid? Are you sure, Naman? Shalini, you are the closest. Tell me what to do. Mass of what by what? Very, no, Tanmay, you do not need the temperature. You do not need temperature or anything. All you need to consider is that after Shalini is closest, actually, the answer. After, not even that, Samira, no 1 minus or anything. Nothing. You just have to consider that after the capsule is broken, yes, Shalini, absolutely. After the capsule is broken, what is the specific volume of, you don't know whether it is steam, water, or whatever. Let me put it bluntly. But you can calculate a specific volume. What is that? It is 0.1255 divided by 0.453. It's 0.277 meter cube per kg. That's it. Okay. And now what we do? It is now mentioned that temperature is again back to 165 degrees centigrade. That's what the problem states. We take it as 165 to avoid problem. So now we know for the final, after the capsule is broken, I will check with the whole class if you are all following. So after the capsule is broken, what are the final conditions we know? We know T and we know specific volume. That is good enough. Good enough to find out all the data. So we again go to the temperature table. Absolutely, Abhishek. We will go to temperature table. 165 degrees centigrade. $165 and we find that the specific volume of liquid is 0.272. And this is, so there might be a little bit of numerical issues, which I will come up with a better problem. So this is specific liquid, this is specific volume of vapor. So this is specific volume of vapor is, at saturation. So from the steam table, is it clear to all? We are looking at the temperature table, right? We are looking at the temperature table. I don't know how this thing disappears. Strange thing. Why it is not disappearing? Sometime it disappears nicely, right? So if you go to the temperature table, first one is VL, second one is VV. This is at saturation, 165 degrees centigrade temperature, right? So your VV, which is at saturation, is 0.2726, right? So it's at VV. meter cube per kg, right? And therefore, we have got 0.277. So for our understanding, for within the framework of the class, what we understand that by breaking the capsule, what you have now created is the chamber is now full with saturated steam. Reality is, if you are very, very fussy, right, you do understand that it is not exactly saturated, since the specific volume we have calculated is 0.277. There might be a very minor amount of superheat, but that will require, for 165 degree of all things, that will require a large amount of interpolation, so we can consider it to be saturated. And once it is saturated, 165 degrees centigrade, so now you can also understand that the pressure has dropped to 0.7005 megapascal, which is or the pressure remains, pressure is now points, or this it remains roughly the same what was the initial pressure inside the capsule. So is it clear to all the problem at the approach particularly? We can look into the fine tuning the numbers, but I'd like the class to comment, because don't hide behind the crowd that everybody has understood. This is a problem which requires a little bit of concept, and I'd like to request your opinions. Are you convinced with, firstly, whether what I have told, whether you have understood that, and then secondly, whether you are convinced with it? I'll give 2 minutes for the class to respond, because I have another beautiful problem to pick up. While I do that, please respond. And then once you do that, then you can find out all the changes and whatever. That I leave to you. When I was solving the problem, I was better off, because I got confused initially itself. So I'll repeat. So if the class wants me to repeat, the class must tell me what I need to do. See, the first thing is the initial condition of water is known. 164 degrees for 690 kPa. So why this is required? This is required to find out the initial HL and all these things, right? That's all. Because you have to calculate the change in Q, W. So work done is anyway zero, because there is no expansion in the volume of the tank. Tank is rigid. So Q you can find out, or you have to find out delta H and delta W. For that you need the initial HL, initial UL, or whatever. So what is given? It contains water, right? Which is at 165 degrees centigrade and 700 kPa. Is it clear? So we go to the temperature table, right? We go to temperature table and we find out that 165 degrees centigrade, the saturation temperature is 0.7005 megapascal, which is 700 kilopascal, right? Therefore, the liquid that is initially inside the capsule, is saturated liquid. Why this information is required? Is it clear to all why this information is required? Why it is important? Because until and unless you identify whether it is saturated liquid or subcooled liquid or whatever, you will not be able to find out HL and UL. Is it clear? Is it clear why we do this? Okay, fine. Once you do that, then what we are doing? We also know two additional informations. One is the weight of the liquid that is inside the capsule. And once you break the capsule, where is this liquid going to spread out? It's going to spread out all over the tank, right? So the moment you break this capsule, what is the final specific volume of this liquid or steam or whatever? Final specific volume is the mass, initial mass, because that's the only liquid present, initial mass. Of course, there is an implicit assumption in the whole thing. The assumption is the chamber in which you insert the capsule, it is completely dry. It is devoid of any sort of water molecules, right? It is completely dry. When we learn humidity, we will see what complete dryness means. So once you break the capsule, now it's evacuated. Yeah, it's written also. Or maybe God knows it is written or not written. I don't know. Yeah, it's evacuated. It can be considered as vacuum. So now once you break this capsule, what is going to happen? This same liquid now occupies what volume? The volume of the tank. Earlier it was occupying the volume of the capsule. Samira, you did one small mistake by sort of subtracting the volume of the capsule. Please do understand, when the capsule is broken, its volume does not need to be subtracted. It is part of the volume of the tank. So whatever was the mass of the liquid in the capsule is now spread over the entire tank. And therefore, from there, by simply dividing the volume of the tank by the mass of the liquid present, you get a number which is the specific volume. Is it clear to all? So you get a number which is the specific volume, and the temperature is specified. You see, it is written, it is brought back to the same temperature. If it was not mentioned what is the temperature, you would have had difficulty, right? So it clearly says that it is brought back to the same temperature. Once it is brought back to the same temperature, so now again what you do, you have a specific volume data and you have the temperature. Again go back to the same table, right? And now temperature is again same, so therefore no problem. And we find that our specific volume is very close to the specific volume of saturated vapor, right? Earlier case, what we were told is that based on temperature and pressure, right, we found out the liquid we had inside the capsule was saturated liquid. Now based on the combination of combination of temperature and specific volume, what we find out is the liquid, the vapor we have is saturated steam. Is it clear? So if it is saturated steam, again you can find out the HV bar and UV bar and all those stuff. Just simply subtract, that is the energy change, delta H and delta U. Is it clear to all? Yes, 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 100% liquid. Nothing else is specified. So therefore, there is no gas. It's 100% liquid. Don't unnecessarily overcomplicate something. Yes, it's 100% liquid. It's as if a glass container which is filled only with liquid. Anyone else now? It's clear to all? I have a question, light question to make in this heavy class today. How many of you have the habit of, when you go to attend class, if at all, of leaving the fan in your room running, assuming that the room will become cooler when you come back? You don't have to answer, but be gentle and honest to yourself. Does anybody do that? I'm not going great energy saving protagonist and I'm going to haul up all you. Neither I am presently a warden of any hostel. So there is, you can answer to it fearlessly. Warden sir, don't answer because he is now the warden of LLR. So if you happen to be in LLR, you will be in trouble. You might be fine. But many of us do it, right? That assuming that we sort of leave the fan running. So once I'm come back after a very grueling day, it will be little colder. Anybody does it? Keep thinking. Okay, why you are thinking about it, you will come to know a little later. So here is another problem. 4 kilogram of superheated steam at 700 kPa and 500 Kelvin is cooled in a tank to 400 Kelvin. Calculate the heat transfer involved. Dissipation nahi hoga. No dissipation. Something else. There is one problem on that. So how do you handle this problem? Important thing to note, I would like to draw the attention of the class is final pressure is not mentioned. And please do not use this. How do we handle? Tell me the approach. Anyone? Very good, Sridhar. Excellent. That's the crux. So what you do? It's solved. Others, please catch up. Very good, Sridhar. So what you do? You use the steam table, 700 kPa or 0.7 megapascal. and what is this number? 223, right? 223 degrees centigrade, right? You go to steam table. Let's see what is the condition. So condition is as follows. We again use the pressure table. Yeah, 0.7 megapascal. So 0.7 megapascal. Saturation temperature is 165 degrees centigrade. So what do we do? What is the condition? This is superheated steam. So we go to the superheated table. We do not have data for 700 kPa. We have superheated data for 600 kPa and we have data for 800 kPa. It's actually a double integration because neither you have data for 223 degrees centigrade. So 600 double interpolation, not integration, sorry. So 600 kPa, you have data for 200 degrees centigrade and 250 degrees centigrade. From that, you can find out the data for 600 kPa, 223 degrees centigrade, 800 kPa, you have data for 200 degrees centigrade, 250 degrees centigrade. So based on that, you can find out the data for 223 degrees centigrade. Now, based on these two, you can average it out and can get data for specific enthalpy at 223 degrees centigrade, 700 kPa. So this you can find out, and you can also more than this. Actually, what is this is of course required, but what is more important is this particular value. This needs to be found out at 223 degrees centigrade, 700 kPa. This is clear to all. I have done the calculation, so if you want, I can tell you the numbers. Yeah, so something comes out. I don't know. Yeah, so I have got a number. It's 0.323 meter cube per kg. Please check it out. This I have got as 0.323 meter cube per kg. So next, what we need to do? Next, all we need to do is to go to temperature table for 123 degrees centigrade, right? So we go to temperature table at 123 degrees centigrade or 125 degrees centigrade, and we find that VL is 0.001065, VV is 0.77059, right? Therefore, what we have is an our specific volume is 0.323, right? So this lies somewhere in between these two. So by means of this cooling, what you have done is you have created essentially a two-phase mixture. 20 people are missing class today, which is not a good sign at all. Anyway, I can't do anything. Right, so 123 degrees centigrade, what are the stuff you have? You have VL equal to 0.001065 meter cube per kg. You have VV, which is 0.77059 meter cube per kg, and our specific volume not our specific volume of the system is 0.323 meter cube per kg. So I guess all of you can find out. Is it clear to everyone? It's a very nice problem, and It's a beautiful trap way to trap people. People assume constant pressure, people assume this, that, but it is not required. Is it okay? Is it clear? Which part you did not understand? Based on the initial data, you can find out the specific volume. That you can do, yes or no? Based on this data, we understand it's superheated liquid. All this I have shown is the interpolation. This is nothing to understand. Based on this, we understand this is superheated steam. I'm coming to it. Let me pick up Ayush's question first. So we understand superheated steam. We find out, it is now your problem, not my problem to find out, because this is interpolation. We can find out its specific volume. Yes, Ayush? Great. So now we say that this container, it's in a tank or something. So tank doesn't expand or contract or whatever. I'm coming to you as well, Samira. So tank does not expand or contract. So even if the steam, superheated steam, is cooled to 400 Kelvin, which is 123 degrees centigrade, right? So what does it mean? Specific volume will remain the same. Is it clear, Ayush? Final condition says it's 400 Kelvin, like 123 degrees centigrade, right? And what additional stuff we know? Pressure is not defined, right? But what is known? The specific volume is known, yes or no? I have 4-5 minutes, I will use that time. So specific volume is known, temperature is known, yes? Yes or no? So if it is known, now at 123 degrees centigrade, all we need to look into is the specific volume of the liquid and specific volume of the vapor. Because if you know the temperature and the specific volume, based on that you have a clue well to find out whether it is liquid or whether it is vapor. So if the specific volume is higher than that of the saturated vapor, then it means that again it's a superheat. If it is lower than the liquid, then it is subcooled. If it is in between, the specific volume is in between these two, then it must be a two-phase mixture. Is that clear, Ayush? So that's all what we have done. Here we know the specific volume is 0.323. If you can calculate this, and now we find that this value 3.323 lies between 0.001 and 0.77. Therefore, it must be a two-phase mixture between gas. I told Vivek not to use the word mixture, and I'm now myself using it. Sorry, Vivek, I should withdraw that. So now it's essentially a two-phase mixture of this thing. Saturated liquid and saturated vapor. Is it clear to all? So Sneh, if you have not got it till now, why didn't you say that, sir, I have not understood? That's a bad practice. If you don't understand, immediately say, I don't understand. It's not that I am bluffing. I am trying to teach you all. There might be some communication gap here and there, some conceptual gap here and there. And all of you are extremely intelligent kids, so you will all understand. Is it clear? So Samira, what is exactly your doubt? If I talk about this particular problem, the second part of this particular problem, right? So here temperature is given. How do we know that here that all steam wasn't converted to liquid? Because the specific volume, Vivek, again you are missing out the same problem. Look at the number of the specific, the number that you have calculated for specific volume. This is the number you have calculated, right? Specific volume. Now, whatever happens inside the tank, you heat up, cool down, whatever, the specific volume remains the same as long as the mass and the volume does not change. The tank is rigid. Do you think I spent so much time on rigidity of a system initially for nothing? Here is the concept. Tank is rigid. Therefore, volume is constant. You are not entering or withdrawing steam from it. Therefore, the mass is constant. Therefore, the volume by mass. But your specific volume is not that, no, at a temp. So specific volume you have calculated, don't argue. Please try to follow me, then you counter me. You have calculated specific volume, right? You have calculated a specific volume based on these two parameters. Yes or no? So that specific volume, what am I telling? Is it making sense to you? This specific volume remains constant because neither the mass is changing nor the volume is changing. Yes or no? So you now have a specific volume that is constant. Now the problem statement says that there is cooling to 400 degree Kelvin, which is 123 degree centigrade or 125 degree centigrade. Now you go to steam table, right? Now you go to steam table. So this is your steam table. Samira, here we know the temperature. Therefore, we are going to use the temperature table. There is no way you can use the pressure table. You use the temperature table. You find the specific volume of liquid is 0.00106. Specific volume of vapor is 0.77, right? So these are the numbers I have written here. So this is the specific volume of liquid. This is the specific volume of vapor. Now, what is the specific volume of the system? This is the specific volume of the system, right? Vivek, is it clear? This is the specific volume of the system. You have that much amount of water molecules present. Nothing can be done. So how is it possible at this temperature, this specific volume would mean, how is it possible? If you have full liquid, will this specific volume be supported? If you have full vapor, will this specific volume be supported? Answer is no. So how is it possible? Since it lies between these two entities, it has to be a liquid vapor mixture, two-phase mixture. Is it clear now? This is the reason I was emphasizing on these problems. It's a very, very delicate concept. Is the specific volume for a rigid tank and constant mass remains constant. You may do whatever you want to do. And out of the degree of freedom 2, that is one of the freedom. It picks up. Therefore, you can only independently specify either pressure or temperature. Is it clear now? Vivek? Samira, what is your problem specifically? And Sridhar, what is your problem? Can you explain the difference between superheated, supersaturated liquid and vapor? What exact difference you want to know, please? So everybody in the class understands that this problem after cooling, it is neither superheated, it is neither saturated vapor nor saturated liquid. It's a mixture of the two. Is it clear to all? Which question you see? Most of the cases, the way I follow, you have absolutely no problem in following that. Most of the cases, if pressure is given, I will go to the pressure table and then find out based on the temperature. Like even here, even for this problem, I'm addressing Samira now. Even for this problem, what I did was, first, it is given 700 kPa and 223 degrees centigrade. So my approach would be as follows. I will first go to the pressure table. 700 kPa is here. Even in the previous problem, we had 700 kPa. So my approach is like this: 700 kPa, 0.7 MPa or 700 kPa. The saturation temperature is 165 degrees centigrade, right? No, they are not same, Sridhar. They are not same. I'm coming to it. So Samira, so first I use the pressure table, find out the temperature, because as I have clearly said, it is easier based on the temperature scale to determine whether my steam is superheated or not. So 165 degrees centigrade is the saturation temperature, right? I hit it and I find that the actual system temperature is 223 degrees centigrade. Therefore, steam is superheated, right? And therefore, since it is superheated, I now go to the superheated table to find out all the properties. Is it clear? Is it clear? Then what I have done? Then it says that now, then what I was explaining to Vivek, you have also understood from that data that is available, we calculate the specific volume. Now, if you look at, the final condition, one of you is unmuted, kindly mute yourself. The final condition, if you see, now only the temperature is given, pressure is not given. So since pressure is not given, what do? I now go to the temperature table. That's simple. Do not overcomplicate it. It's very simple approach. My approach is very, very clear. If pressure is given, I will first knock on the pressure table. If pressure is not given, now essentially the final condition in this particular problem is defined by the temperature and the specific volume. Therefore, I go to the temperature table because there is no point in searching in the pressure table without knowing the pressure. Huh? So now we go to the temperature table, understand that it's a two-phase mixture, and therefore from the temperature table now we get an idea about the pressure. What is the pressure? It's the saturation pressure because you have two-phase mixture. Is it clear, Samira, for this particular problem? You repeatedly have problem on this particular issue. I can talk to you on this. Yes, Sridhar. So the difference is, yes, capsule contains saturated liquid and finally we got saturated vapor. What is the difference? This is actually a question I am not at all entertaining. This is a bad question. The difference between saturated vapor and saturated liquid is the difference in enthalpy, which corresponds to their latent heat. That is, I mean, I do not expect a student at my class does not understand the difference between saturated vapor and saturated liquid. The difference is water at 100 degrees centigrade is saturated liquid. At 1 atmospheric pressure. Water at 100 degrees centigrade is saturated liquid. Steam at 100 degrees centigrade is saturated vapor. What is the difference between the two? Apart from the fact one is liquid state, one is in the vapor state, the difference is in terms of their specific enthalpy, which are exactly separated by the latent heat. Is it clear, Sridhar? So when I showed in the previous problem that capsule inside, water inside the capsule is saturated liquid, it was liquid, right? And when after breaking, it becomes vapor, it is now steam. It is 100% steam now. Had the pressure been 1 atmosphere, it is not 1 atmosphere in that problem. Had the pressure been 1 atmosphere, the difference of the specific enthalpies would have been exactly equal to that 540 calories per kg, kilocalorie per kg. Any other doubt? The changes that will happen is only because of the latent heat. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, the temperature is constant, right? So you don't even have to worry about the latent heat. All you need to do is find out the HV at saturation value and HL at saturation value. Subtract them. That is equivalent to the latent heat at that temperature and pressure. Is it clear? Don't get carried away. Yeah. Data. So that is what we agreed, Soham, to the agreement that if it is below 5 megapascal, we say that it is incompressible liquid. If it is above 5 megapascal and you have data, right, then what we do is we go to table B5, the last page of the steam table, and do some interpolation. Is it clear, Soham? You see, every day I'm now taking extra classes. This is bad. I'll stop here. Thank you. Any other questions? You can keep it for the next class or just put it in the WhatsApp group. I will discuss in the next class. And I will also converge with the class on when the assignment goes. All the best. Thank you very much. Yes, Shoham, it might change. It might change. In fact, there is a very interesting question. The moment you to the liquid state, even if subcooling is there, what is the value of CV? CV, that's a question. CP, we know it's 4.2. Thanks.